Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. The Indian game begins by controlling the important e4 square with the knight, rather than a pawn. c4 builds a strong center by controlling the important d5 square and creates a square for the knight to come to c3 without blocking the c-pawn. The king's Indian defense prepares to develop the bishop to g7, allowing white to build up a strong center, which black will later try to undermine. Knight c3 prepares the e2-e4 pawn push and helps control the d5 square. Bishop g7 puts the bishop on the long diagonal in a move called a fianchetto. e4 takes full control of the center. d6 controls the e5 square and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. Knight f3 supports the d4 pawn and puts pressure on the e5 square. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. h3 takes control of the g4 square, allowing white to play bishop e3 without getting the bishop attacked by knight g4. e5 takes space in the center and attacks the pawn on d4. d5 takes space in the center and controls the c6 and e6 squares. a5 takes space on the queen side and controls the b4 square, slowing down white's ideas of advancing on the queen side with a quick b4 pawn push. White develops the bishop and attacks the center. It's good to get your knight off of its starting square and into the action. A solid choice. You are threatening to capture a pawn and win material after the follow-up trades. This stops the opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. You take back, developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. This misses a much better move. With the bishop developed, you're building a more robust position. The rooks can see each other now, allowing them to provide mutual defense. You allowed the opponent to eventually win material. You missed an opportunity to eventually win a pawn. This allows the opponent to eventually win a knight. This misses an opportunity to eventually win material. Now the other player can't stop you from winning a knight if you make the right moves. This overlooks an opportunity to develop a rook off its starting square. This permits the opponent to kick a bishop. Nice, you found a way to win a knight. This moves the bishop to safety. Good thinking to bring out more pieces into the game. This kicks a queen. That square is an excellent outpost for your bishop. This steps away from the checking bishop. This is a good time for you to get out of trouble. White activates the last piece, bringing all pieces into play. Good job, that's what I would have played too. White's bishop has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This move makes your knight much more effective. A very strong play. You captured a free pawn. This moves the pawn to safety. Yes, this is the way. That's fine. Your bishop has a great outpost. This blocks black's pawn. This is the way to win material. Takes back. You made a passed pawn. This offers an equal trade of pieces. You won material by capturing a rook. Recaptures. You are threatening to checkmate the king. The pawn is now adequately defended. You found the move that blocks the attacker. This defends the attacked bishop. Very good choice. The piece finds a new active square. Taking that pawn will win material for you after the follow-up trades. The bishop is now adequately defended. That was a fair trade. Recaptures. This moves your queen to a safer square. This is a fair move. With this move, all your pieces are finally in action. One of the best moves. You are threatening to force eventual checkmate. This stops the opponent from being able to force eventual checkmate. The closer your passed pawn to promotion, the stronger it is. A solid choice. This is a fine move. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Good job defending that pawn. The knight finds a new active square. This wins a knight. This permits the opponent to force eventual checkmate. Your opponent has no escape. You can force a checkmate with the correct moves. This wins a queen.